Hey guys, I'm Samuel. Welcome back. So, exciting news. I've been asked to do a How to Draw Doodie for the next installment of a Kid in a Comic newspaper, which Doodie is published in 7 times a year. Plus, we finished the inspiration wall, or at least some of it. Let's get it. Okay, so like I said, the publisher for Kid in a Comic asked me to come up with a how-to for the newspaper, but it's only an 8x8 dimensions, right? So 8 inches by 8 inches. So as I was thinking about what to do, I was going to do a turnaround, but then I was like, with only 8x8, maybe I should do pencils with the shapes, and I'll start there. I'll do a pencil with the shapes, and then what I'll do is I'll copy the first frame and I'll paste it, and then I'll start fleshing it out on the second one. And that's the great thing about working with on Clip Studio or on digital, is that you don't have to keep drawing it and drawing it and drawing it. So what I did was I copied the first one. It was just shapes, circles and cylinders and ovals and some squares for the toes. And then I started filling it in on the second image of Doodie. This makes things easier, as it also keeps the proportions, right? So it keeps everything the same way. And then what I decided to do was, since I had the first frame in pencils and the second frame fleshed out, I decided to put in the line work on the third frame, or the image of Doodie facing forward. And number one, it gives, I guess, the aspiring artist, an opportunity to see it fleshed out. And then as I was doing this, I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll start adding colors. So I decided to take the image that I inked and start dropping in flats. Once I had the flats, I copied that whole layer, I put it in a folder, and I decided to do just a shadow tone, like on the image. And it's showing the process of fleshing it out for anybody who is drawing for the first time, and just to see all the phases of Doodie. And this is the fun part. And then I took it from that point, and I have just a one tone shadow, then to add the highlights. So I put it in a folder, and then I copied the layers in that folder and I paste it, and I decided to go and just add some highlights. Nothing crazy. Doodie is basically simple, clean lines, not a lot of colors, just the same color, different variations of tones. But I was pretty satisfied with this. But then I also said, let me draw Doodie facing Doodies, right? So he's inspecting the work. So just to add a little fun and some flavor to the How to Draw Doodie template, and this is where just a creative ad lib. And so I decided to just draw Doodie sideways and facing the finished product of him facing forward. And it's almost like he's determining whether or not to give me his approval. Drawing is the best part of what I do, and this is what I have so much fun doing. And just being asked to do this is so exciting, because this newspaper gets to a whole different audience that may not have ever picked up my comic book. And imagine, reading A Kid in a Comic for the first time. You get to the comic strip with Doodie, but then you get to another page where you see How to Draw Doodie. It just adds value. And I was through the moon when I was asked to do this. And so I wanted to make sure that it was something fun and easy, nothing complex. So that way anybody could just enjoy or have fun and follow along, right? So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about, if I was a kid seeing this section, what else would I want to know to really hone in on how the image was created? So as I'm finishing up the tones, I decided that I also wanted to add the shapes below, and to add like tools. So right now I'm trying to figure out, where do I place Doodie the figure as he's looking on at the characters. And because I want to make room for the shapes and cylinders below. So this is where, you know, I decided to add the shapes, because that's what Doodie is. It's just a bunch of shapes, you know, big round belly, you know, big square box toes, you know, oval head, egg-shaped head. So I wanted to add that so anybody could just basically see. You take these parts, you put them together, and you will get Doodie. And I was pretty satisfied with the look of this. In fact, so much so that it's not only going to go into the newspaper, but I'm also going to add it to the next issue number 6 on the back of the comic book. I always add a lot of different extra stuff in the back of the comic book, and this one is going to go there as well. So that was it. That's I hope. What do you think about this piece? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed drawing this. I enjoyed every moment of the process. If you haven't picked up a copy of this, Nailing on My Toilet, go to doodiesworld.com and you can get yourself a copy. If you want to get yourself a copy of A Kid in a Comic newspaper, you can go to akidinacomic.com as well. I do have a question that I want to answer. So I recently uploaded a drawing of Doodie as Captain Crunch. So one subscriber said that if I'm looking to create the character as a brand, he gets it, but if I want to progress, I might want to draw other things. So I'm assuming you're new to the channel, and this is the first time you've seen Doodie. So all of my video shorts on this channel are really centered around Doodie as, right? So I'm drawing Doodie as Captain America, Doodie as Wolverine, you know, Doodie as Captain Crunch, Doodie as a Smurf. And a lot of it comes from viewers like yourself, and they'll make suggestions. But Doodie is a comic book. Here's the shirt. So if you're new to the channel, you don't know who Doodie is. He's a character from my comic book series, There's Nail in My Toilet, that I've been working on for years. I started in comics in 05, and but I left the comic book business around late 08, early 09. And I came back in 2019, reintroducing Doodie. And I've been working on Doodie since 2019, and I'm up to issue number 6 of the comic book series. And Doodie's also now being published as a comic strip in a newspaper. And there's some other things that's coming down the road for Doodie. So I am an artist, independent. I do my own stuff. I own my own IPs, and I also have a full-time job that has nothing to do with comics or art. So I do this. That's my Doodie, and drawing and creating comic books is my second full-time job. So I have a full-time job that pays the bills, and I have this one that hopefully long-term will do that, so I don't have to, I can do it 100% full-time all the time, every time. So I hope that answers your question. So Doodie's a comic book character. There's a lot of characters in the series, There's Nail in My Toilet. There's over 50 characters in the series. A lot of them are being introduced with every episode of the comic book. There are spin-offs to Doodie, like the Doodie's Monsters on Planet Cthulhu. That's another story that I've created, in issue 1 is available also on doodiesworld.com. So, but I've also created other stuff like Cast the Crazies, Cosmic Wars, Forbidden, ARG, and some children's books as well. So, but Doodie's my primary character that I'm focusing on, which is why I draw Doodie as other characters. It's just fun. It's also a great exercise for me when I'm drawing Doodie, right? So I usually start off drawing Doodie as a character, and then once that's done, then I go into my storyboarding and thumbnails, and I start designing the pages for the comic book for the next issue. So I hope that clarifies things, but thank you for your comment. I appreciate the comment below. If you have a question out there and you want to share it with me and you want me to answer it, I'll answer it in the next episode of The Art of Samuel. With that said, chase your dreams, get ahead of your dreams, put into work every day. Don't let anybody stop you. Your dreams are yours. It's connected to your individuality, so no one's going to tell you what you should be dreaming or what you shouldn't. But the dream will always remain there unless you put the work in, and the work is sometimes hard, and that's okay, because it's the journey that gets us closer, because we learn the lessons that we need to learn. With that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, help grow this channel. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a fantastic week.